do you think that there is someone or something, an organization, a group of people, or something in the air, mind control, like sonic waves that are entering the minds of Asian
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra shit, yeah. Entering the minds of Asian men who are like slightly already on the edge of just, they just need that extra push. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Oriented Podcast. My name is Casey, and I'm joined by my brother, my communist brother, Carey.
Здравствуйте, товарищи.
How come you're
Hello,
learning,
comrades.
How come you're learning Russian?
Funny story. Well, I guess not really that funny, but I started just really getting into like the AK, like the gun, the AK styled firearm. I still like AR-15s and stuff, and I just really got into AKs like literally right before the whole like Russian-Ukraine thing happened. So it was just kind of like weird timing. I actually bought this this Russian like military jacket, and this is the warmest thing you will ever wear. Like you're
really
in the freezing cold. This thing will keep you so warm. Yeah.
What's it called?
It's pretty fly.
Is there a name for it?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're not
I
that
got
Russian.
on eBay.
Not that Russian.
Yeah,
You
I don't
brush up
know.
on Russian some more.
Yeah, but I bought this like right before the conflict, so I don't even know if I can buy any more of these.
That's
I
so
think this
funny.
came from Russia.
That's so funny. Yeah, the last time I came to visit you during Christmas time, you took me to a Russian supermarket.
It was like a USSR market. Yeah.
Yeah, like
They
ran by Ukrainians, right?
Yeah, but all
it's
they
like-
sell are like they all sell goods from like different, former Soviet countries.
Right. Like it's kind of like they kind of lumped their different regional countries and their goods together into one market, right?
Yeah, it's like a really small store. I mean, you were there, but we were like to go there for the Georgian wine, the country Georgia.
Very good wine,
not the state. And then we found out that Georgia is actually the oldest country that's continuously cultivating and producing wine.
Yeah,
So that was
it's
interesting to
really
find
good.
out.
It's like a sweet wine. It's almost kind of like the Jewish wine, like what do you call it, Manischewitz.
Never tried that.
Yeah, it's
Never tried that, but I'd be down.
It's really good.
I need to look for a Jewish store. I know there's like a Jewish community somewhere near here. I'm pretty sure they have a store I can find.
Yeah.
But I bet like wine from those regions, like that region of the world, it's so old. Like that's where like the oldest civilizations were from. I'm pretty sure like all those years of, well, probably a lot of wars and also just vineyards and stuff probably has really good fertile soil for all that.
I mean, it's a Mediterranean, so it's like that is where wine is grown, right? You got France, but it's like France is basically part of the Mediterranean. Yeah, you know what? It's weird that France is not considered the
Spain,
Mediterranean,
right?
But
Spain's
they're a
Mediterranean.
big producer. Italy,
No, Greece.
I think they produce wine,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. Actually, I'm not too sure. They probably do. We just don't know about it.
Well, they have Dionysus, the god of wine from like Greek mythology. So they had to have.
You know what? I think all those countries all probably produce wine. It's just
That's
that
what I'm thinking,
We don't.
yeah.
It doesn't hit our market though. What saturates our market here is either domestic, right, from Napa Valley, right, somewhere from California, or France.
It was funny. I was driving yesterday, and Diana was watching a TikTok of this other podcast, and their guest, I don't know if she's like a wine person or something, but she was saying to not drink U.S. wine. She said that the FDA, something like that, the FDA allows winemakers here in the U.S. to like put certain, I don't know, add certain something in there that's not good for you. So they were saying to not drink U.S. wine. So
really.
That's
they're
good,
cheating.
I
So
only drink Georgian wine. I'm just kidding.
Pinky out.
I don't only drink it, but
I only drink
But I do.
Georgian
I do
wine.
prefer. I like to go there to get wine.
I see. Yeah. So that means when they go to like wine competitions, then U.S. is basically like cheating, right?
I guess.
If they're able to add extra stuff that most like certain organizations are like deeming it not safe or not appropriate, then wouldn't that be weird to take a wine that is produced in that sort of way and like have it compete with French wine or Italian wines or a Malbec from
I can't say. I'm
Argentina.
I'm not that well versed in wine. A lot of it doesn't taste all that great. I still drink it, but it's still kind of like, okay, wine,
Yeah,
so
wine.
I don't know.
I'm still like that too. Like I think I've grown to like that bitter like wine taste, right? But
I wouldn't say I like it, but I've grown to tolerate it. Like it's not bad.
True. I mean, I'm the same
like
way with coffee,
right.
honestly. Like I don't know if I actually like coffee taste. But I've grown to appreciate what you're supposed to be looking for, right? Like there's a natural sweetness, there's a balance to it, not too acidic, not too, it's like, okay, I get it. I see what I'm supposed to be looking for, but do I actually enjoy it? I don't know. But, I'm trying to get into the culture of it, so
I agree.
I'll buy my way into it.
I agree.
But yeah, let's get the show started. What are we talking about today?
Oh, so I had this, I don't know if I'd call it an Asian hate incident. But so
wait, it happened to you?
Yeah, I mean it was it was really small, it's really minor, but I just thought it was, I don't know, it doesn't happen to me every day. So
did you have a video of this? You got to go viral on this, man.
I don't. It wasn't that big of a deal, honestly. But I was so at our bar, a bar club, whatever, in Deep Ellum,
Cafe Salsera. Shout out
Cafe Salsera. We have 4 parking spaces that we pay for to our landlord, and we have it marked off. We give warnings that we tow people away if they park there. We have signs painted saying that it's for our management only. And when me and Diana got there, we had a spot, so we parked, but there were 2 other spaces. One was taken up by a car that I had towed away. I know people don't like getting towed, but if you're parking in a space you're not supposed to park in, you will get towed. All right, so be careful, because that's happened to me too. I'm not out here to just
I've been towed before.
People. Yeah, exactly.
It's not fun.
It's not fun, but after you get towed once, you definitely look out where not to park. So one car we got towed away, later on. But the other car, a guy was in there. This black guy. And
it had to be black.
I know, yeah. I walk up to him, and kind of awkward because he was actually in the middle of arguing with his bitch or girl. I don't know, whatever you want to call her.
What word did he use? We'll just use whatever word he...
Well, I don't know. He was just arguing with her. It was just kind of tense. Like there was some tension going on.
Why did you say bitch?
I don't know. I was mad at the
time. Does he look like a pimp? Did he look like a pimp or something?
No, they're just ghetto. Okay, they're just super ghetto. They're just super ghetto. All right, and I'm not calling black people ghetto, but they were ghetto. They definitely were just in a hoopty, super ghetto. He had like a blunt in his hand.
Oh, okay. That paints the picture.
Yeah, so they're like arguing about something, and I kind of interrupt and like, hey, excuse me, this is private parking, you gotta move. And they don't respond right away because they're in the middle of their argument.
The girl's in there too. The girl's in there too?
Yes. They're both in there, and I'm kind of like, oh shit, should I have waited first before I, said something? Because I just kind of walked up there, started talking, but they were mid-argument. Not really like crazy, but just, they were definitely disagreeing about something.
Heated. Yeah.
Heated, yeah. And, and then the guy just turns to me and he's like, I forget what he says verbatim, but he's like, oh, like, why'd I gotta move or something, or something like that. And I'm like, oh, these are, this is a towaway here. It's painted right there. This is our parking spots. And he's like, you can't tow me. I know my rights, because he's right. If he's still in the car, I can't get him towed. Tow truck's not going to come get him.
Did you think he actually knew that, or you just said that as like a phrase?
He probably knew that. I mean, I feel like that's common. That's common knowledge. Like if you're in your car, you can't get towed.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll move my car.
I mean, out of respect, people do that, but they know they can't physically get towed if they're there. So he says that, and I'm like, okay, well, this is our private parking. I need the spaces, and he's like, who needs the spaces? I'm like, my dad, because our dad comes later. I need to get a spot ready for him, And he's like, you need it right now? I'm like, not right now, but I'm going to need it. And then he replies, he's like, oh, is it because I'm black? And I'm like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
I told him, like, I don't give a fuck if you're black. You know, like, I don't give a fuck.
You said that verbatim? I don't give a fuck if you're black.
I probably didn't say I don't give a fuck, but I was like, I don't care if you're black. You know? I was just like, I don't care, you know, what you are, but you just got to move because this is our private parking. And then he just looks at me and he's like, and I'm not saying that, I'm paraphrasing the conversation because, you know, I kind of heated in the moment. I don't have like photographic memory of everything that happened, but he was like, you know, you look weird too. And I'm like, what? I'm like,
very,
okay, I'm
insecure.
Yeah, I know. He just starts pulling out this race card and then starts being racist towards me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm Chinese. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. Like, can you move? You know? And there's a little bit of back and forth. He just keeps saying that I look weird. And it's like, okay, you look weird too, I guess. You know, like, we all look weird, don't we?
Yeah, it's like, that's something we have in common. Common ground. Can
but
we
anyways,
along?
eventually he was like, okay, yeah, I'll move. I'll get out of here. But you look weird, though. And so as he's backing out, as he's backing out, I just give him the chink eyes. I'm like, whatever, you know. And then I move our cones to, you know, block the spot.
Why'd you give him the chink eyes?
I don't know. He says I look weird, so I just want to show him how weird I look. I don't know. It's just my biggest thing is like, there's no point in getting upset or super offended by what people say about you. You know?
Right.
Because that could just lead to worse situations. So I just lean into it, you know.
So you're trying
myself.
So you're trying to downplay the situation by kind of being self-deprecating, I guess, right?
I guess. I don't know. My goal was just to get him to move, though. You know,
So like, however, you're just maneuvering however you could to make him not more angry and just more like, come on, let's go.
Pretty
Time
much,
is money,
yeah.
Right?
Pretty much.
I get it.
That was my little
incident. He seemed kind of
incident.
nice, though. I mean, considering... So I you know, like, when people are in a heated situation, you know, like with their significant other and someone just butts in, I know if I'm in a heated situation with Tiff and someone just butts in, I will throw whatever venom I had that was being built up, you know, to combat with my significant other, that will be magnified 10 times worse if I were to divert that and launch it upon a stranger, you know? Because I'm like, oh, you're a person that has no, like, you don't live with me. I could just, you're a punching bag today, you know? And I could launch into someone else.
Totally. And honestly, like, that, a lot of it probably depended on how I responded. You know, I tried not to be insulting back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's where things could get ugly. But I was basically just telling him, like, hey, dude, I don't care what you are. I don't care what I am. But all I can tell you is I need you to move.
I look weird. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, pretty much was my attitude. It's like, okay, who cares? You know, I got things to do.
That's
chop,
cool.
chop,
That's cool.
You know?
Yeah. And that's cool, man. Because, like, I feel like a lot of people get hung up on the interaction, right? They get so hung up on the interaction that they kind of lose sight of the end goal. And the end goal is for you to get your business going, right? Like, the night's about to start. It's a club. You know, like, I got shit to do. I got things to set up. I'm not trying to waste my whole night out here. I'm not trying to, you know, involve, say, law enforcement. You know, like that's like just like,
or any
not necessary.
violence.
Yeah, exactly.
And ultimately, if I really needed to, what time was it? Did it happen at? This was Sunday. You know, I could have gotten our door guys or security to come out to help me out too. So.
Oh, true.
It's never a big deal.
Yeah. That's true. That's right. You roll deep.
yeah. Like, if I really needed help, I can get help. So.
Yeah, you roll deep, and like the guys you roll deep with, they look like they're like El Chapo's bodyguards or something like that. Because like the guys you hire all wear like the what do you call that?
Some of them do, like the body armor. Like, they're not always wearing the actual plate. You know, the bulletproof plate, but they wear the getup. You know, just
I've seen the pictures.
It looks more intimidating.
Yeah, it looks. I feel safe. If I were to go clubbing there, I'm like, I feel very safe at Cafe Salsera. Like, the bodyguards. I mean, the bodyguards. The security there, they're like all like suited up for like El Chapo or something. And I'm like, you know what? That's badass. It's actually very fitting for a Latin club.
That's true. Yeah, and we make sure no one brings in weapons or anything. Try to keep a safe environment for anyone who's there. It's the most important thing. But yeah, that's how my weekend was with that. So
very memorable.
I never really deal with anything racist ever. Mm-hmm. Maybe as a kid, you get
in
like
high
kids
school,
making jokes.
Yeah. I think in school, I feel like I experienced the most like quote unquote racism.
Yeah, and ultimately, it's just kids being kids.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just there's like racist jokes thrown across the whole spectrum.
Yeah, it's just that's how kids communicate. Kids are idiots. Kids have to communicate in the most like broadest strokes ever because we don't know much. We don't know anything. We don't know how the world works. All we know is pride. Because when you're in puberty, for example, when you're going through puberty, like you start to get the sense of pride of who you are. And if anyone steps up to you, and I guess it's from a guy's perspective. I don't know how girls think or feel. I guess some girls think and feel similarly too. Because like I can think of a certain group of girls that I went to school with. Even my ex-girlfriend, I think, was this type of girl. Like, if you like stepped up to her, like she'd be like, all right, let's throw some hands, like, let's go. And I'm like, I wasn't like that personally, but
that's called ghetto.
True. But we all feel that though. Like in high school, I feel like we all feel that. We all experience that in some way or shape or form, or at least even in our heads. Like you're like after the confrontation or whatever interaction.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, I wish I said this. I should have done that. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
but ultimately, if nothing happens, that's the best outcome, to be honest.
True, but your pride hurts so much. And you get to walk home with your legs between your tail, man.
True, but you'll get over it.
Why not just like, look at this fist. Look at this fist. Look at that guy's face. Just, why didn't I just do it?
Yeah, speaking of fists and face, did you see that video on the Philly train? The train on the Philadelphia in Philadelphia?
Oh, yeah. You sent it to me. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, I don't know if this is true. It could be totally false, but apparently some Asian girls or this family, I don't know who's who in this. There's no real context. But apparently this girl wouldn't let these black girls borrow their AirPods. And so they just start the black girls on the train just start beating these Asian people. I think they hit like two of them, but there was like a whole family or like a group of them, and it was pretty crazy seeing.
AirPods? Who lets people borrow AirPods? That's disgusting.
Right? Yeah, it's disgusting. And second of all, you're on a public train.
I wouldn't want to borrow your AirPod. It's in your ear. I don't know how well clean your ear is. In fact, no one's ear is really ever that clean. Because you ever seen those videos on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, or Facebook or whatever, the ads, and they take the drill and they drill into people's ears and they pull out like a huge glob of earwax.
Yeah.
And the science behind it, they're like, this is the only way to clean your ear, because what you do at home with your Q-tips or whatever,
shoving it in deeper.
Shoving it in. You're just shoving it all in there. And so your ears are never actually clean. So to get upset when someone says, I'm not letting you borrow my my AirPods, that they're doing you a favor. They're doing you a favor so that you don't have to contaminate your own ears with someone else's 10-year-old earwax that's never left their ear.
Yeah.
And you're going to get upset with that? I don't know.
Allegedly, that's what happened. That's what somebody tweeted. I don't.
Sounds like fake news.
It could be fake news, but for a fact,
that's ridiculous.
Some Asians got their ass beat on the Philly train.
You have the video?
Yeah, I sent it to you, or it's on the notes.
Oh yeah.
It's the.
You want me to share it?
Yeah, I mean, since you're the host of this, I think it might be better on your end. I don't know. Last time I tried to share it when we were running a test, it looked terrible. So.
Okay. I don't even know what she's saying. What's she saying?
I have no idea. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where the context came from.
Don't
I don't know
fucking chicken, you fucking dickens. That's what I heard. That's what I made up. I don't know. Okay, let's finish it.
She's drawing.
So they might have been disrespectful towards them, you know.
Wait, they were disrespectful by coiling up in little balls,
no,
looking down at the floor?
I'm saying is the black girls might have said something, and then the Asians might have tried to been a smart ass about something, and then, well, you know.
The Asians were like, not today. And then the black girls were like, no motherfucking not
like,
today.
What'd you say to me? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that black girl's making it sound like. She was like, try that shit again or something, you know? So
okay,
they must have done something smart ass or obviously responded in a way they didn't like, that they thought was disrespectful.
Man. Yeah. But, rush hour, man. We got to get along.
Yeah.
Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. God. Didn't learn anything from that movie. The trilogy. Okay.
All right, let's finish.
Pushed. Oh, it's something about pushed them off the train. So there was a physicality element here.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fuck out of here! And bitch, stop fucking dicking! Drop the AirPods! What, bitch?
Okay, they said something about AirPods right there. Dang, does she...
Yeah,
her eye looks beat up. Like she's got a black eye already.
Maybe it could be allergies.
In one eye only.
Possibly. I get allergies in my eyes, and sometimes it's just like in one eye. I look like a raccoon.
Oh, you're just itching that one eye the whole time.
Yeah, it's just like this one eye. I don't know. Or like one of my nose like was running. It's just one nostril. The other one's like clear as day.
Well,
the
yeah,
other
that
one's all,
happens to me too. That was me today.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. But she said, wait, she just said something.
Stop dick eating.
Stop gatekeeping. What does that mean?
Dick eating.
Dick eating. Okay.
I think.
What does that mean?
And then
Is
she
that
mentioned
slang?
something about AirPods.
Okay.
You know how ghetto people are talking. They just kind of say whatever, and it doesn't have to be
They
relevant
also look
to
really
anything.
young, so they could just be like a teenager thing. Like I don't know what the slang is. I just learned what resin means.
What is resin?
Did
I don't
say
even know
it
what
right?
that means.
Res, like, I'm gonna sound so old to whoever knows what this means because I don't think I'm gonna use it right. But it's like I'm resin on some girls. It's
What?
like you're
I don't even know what it means. I'm a
you're
boomer
hitting
now.
on girls basically. You're showing.
Is this something that Isaac taught you?
He doesn't even talk like this, but like
Okay.
he said, like yeah, this is what that means. I'm like,
I've never heard that before. I'm getting old
Yeah, I
now
don't
too.
know.
I'm a boomer.
okay, so dick eating or whatever that means.
What, bitch?
I don't know.
Stop fucking dick eating! Watch out! What?
Oh wow.
What? Bitch, you remember?
That's hard to watch.
Yeah.
That's really hard to watch.
Is that a shoe?
Yeah, that's a chancla, man.
Yeah.
She became Mexican for a second.
Yeah. That's brutal, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
And it's just sucks how I mean, I can't say that I would get involved to like do anything either, but you know.
If you watch that unfold in real time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it was my personal friend, you got to do something. So her friends should have done something, but
It's like, all right, I guess I'm getting my ass beat with you today.
But obviously, it seems like they've probably never gotten into an altercation before, and that's
Fuck
a good
no.
thing, you know.
Yeah.
So
the way they
didn't know what to
responded,
do.
like they're like, yeah, they it was fight or flight, and they chose to, or actually not even flight. It was just you had nowhere to go, so it's just deer in headlights.
pretty much, yeah. But it's just crazy how this stuff happens in like the most diverse cities.
It's just so crazy because like when I see something like that, this is what I see. I can't read the Asian people. They're all maxed up, so I can't read them. What I can tell though is for the aggressors, I would say what I see is a lot of pent up rage. I don't think it was about the AirPod. I don't think it was about them dick eating. I don't think it was about them whatever, I don't know what the fuck they were saying. No, don't fuck, don't take anything. Whatever that meant, it wasn't about that. It wasn't about. Yeah, don't take it. It wasn't about that. It was about whatever pent up rage they have going on in their lives, and they found the perfect soft target to just land blows on. They're like, oh, like in the famous words of Bruce Lee in his movie Enter the Dragon. Some dude holds up a board and breaks the board in front of Bruce Lee's face to intimidate him. And then Bruce Lee's like, yeah, boards don't hit back. As in, like, watch yourself. And these girls, they found the perfect board to break because they're not going to hit back.
Yeah, and I will say that about like a lot of like Asian hate crimes. I don't think a lot of them are necessarily targeted towards Asians, but I do think Asians do tend to be more of that board most of the time. They're the least confrontational, and we're just known to be more reserved and to ourselves. So Asians as a whole, and generally speaking, I feel like they just are easier targets to pick on than other groups.
Yeah, I agree. I think culturally we're just very reserved and
non-confrontational,
like
really.
All aspects, yeah. Even like interpersonal relationships, I feel like we're very avoidant about emotions. We're very avoidant people, and we try to like maneuver in ways that like, for example, therapy. Therapy is a very like almost kind of like a what do you call it? What's the word when people sit you down and then they're like, we got to have an intervention. Yeah, like let's go at this thing. Like that doesn't exist in Asian culture. Therapy, which is kind of like that, except we're with a professional. Asians don't do therapy, like not the older generation, and especially our generation now. Like we're starting to branch out and absorb that kind of stuff,
which I think is good because I heard like in countries like Japan, their school system's so competitive that some of these kids, they crack under the pressure of like being a really good student that they just commit suicide, and that's that's
really bad.
Yeah, but I was gonna say also another thing, going to your point, like I remember learning in school back then, I forgot what class it was, but they talked about what cultures needed the least amount of personal space, and then what I guess cultures or ethnicities needed the most amount of personal space. And I think like Hispanics, they require the least amount of personal space because typically there's a lot.
Tell me about it. Being married to Tiff, it's like she just wants to hug me all day. I know, and kiss me all day, and I'm like, woman, not today. Penis needs to rest. Jeez, calm down.
But like like stereotypically, a lot of Hispanic household will have like 10 people living at a house or something like that. And then I think after that, it might be black people. Part of it's probably has to do with like socioeconomic status too, just like a lot of people have to fit under a roof. And then after that, I think it's like white people. And then Asians, we need like the biggest circle of personal space.
Stay away. Yeah. And even like I love you, but stay away.
Even whenever we go to Hong Kong and visit our aunt, I try to greet her with a hug. And she's like, what are you doing? Like, we don't do this.
Yeah, I noticed that she just kind of just tenses up. Like, we've known her all our lives. Like, she's like seen us as a baby.
Watch us grow up, literally.
Watch us grow up. We're like, it's not like we feel foreign to each other. And like, even then, it's like when we embrace her with our American standard, it's like I can sense that she's, she tenses up a little bit. But she's like trying to, it's not like she's like, no. It's just like she's just not used to it, right?
I think it's just hilarious. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a culture shock in a sense.
Yeah, it's weird because like sometimes I'm like I can tap into the touchy feely stuff, and then some other times I get into my, let's just call it the Asian way, right? I get stuck in the Asian way. And I'll, even like when I meet people here stateside, right? I'll like, hi, and I think most people, would be like, oh, let me come up and shake your hand. My name is Casey or whatever, right? And for me, sometimes I'm like, it's just more comfortable to just be like, hey, what's up? My name's Casey, and just kind of wave, but it's like, I feel like you make a better connection if you did that extra step of shaking their hand.
It's more interpersonal.
Yeah, and I just don't, and I avoid it, and I look back and I'm like, oh, was I afraid of the situation? You know, like was there like a avoidance to it? And I think I think there's like I'm like pre-programmed to just like not want to engage too close. Like too close. Like you're cool, you know, like let's talk.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know if it's also because like when I'm at Salsera, I don't know, just because like other people are drunk and I'm always sober when I'm there. But like you know, if somebody I know there or like Diana's cousins or something, they'll just like get really close to me. Obviously they've been drinking, you know, but they'll get like close to me a little too close. Like they'll give me like a kiss on the cheek and I'm just like, oh, you know, like get away from me. Or they try to they try to talk to me like all close to my face and like they start like kind of getting spit on me and stuff, and I'm just like, you know.
Yeah, you need wipers on your glasses.
yeah, it's kind of funny, but yeah, definitely, I don't like being too close to anybody except for my own wife, really. You know, anybody else, I'm kind of like, all right, let's keep a little distance.
Wait till you have a baby, man.
Well, that's different. You're gonna want it.
You're gonna want to like. You're gonna want it. Smother your baby with a whole bunch of touching.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that's how I am with. I mean, I don't have a baby, but like honestly, I never saw myself as a dog person. We got a dog like a year and a half ago, and I never saw myself as a dog person. But you know, now when I'm around him, I just want to like, you know, just rough him up as much as possible. But I imagine that's how it would be like with a baby, except
in Chinese and Cantonese it's yokgan, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My mom says it like yokgan.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
and then in Spanish it's ansioso.
Okay.
I think I might be butchering it. I don't know Spanish, but it's like ansioso or something like that.
Is there a word like that in English?
Just like so.
There has to be. But we just don't know it.
I think the movie Despicable Me sums it up perfectly. It's
that's so fluffy.
You're so fuzzy, I want to die, or whatever. Yeah, like that pretty much sums up that feeling.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, you start like grinding your teeth together.
Yeah, pretty intense actually.
Yeah,
pretty intense for something that's so meant to be so nurturing.
Yeah, but on the flip side to Asians getting their ass beat, and actually, there's a lot of those videos. I keep seeing videos of older like Asian people, and mostly this happens a lot in like San Francisco. Mostly there's just be like an old Asian lady walking on the street, and then some like hoodlums come up and sucker punch them or something and just like steal whatever they have.
Yeah, that's really sad. I mean, this stuff was happening pre-pandemic.
It's been happening for a long time, probably. It's just only been made to light after all these years.
Yeah, I feel like it was like largely ignored because it was largely ignored. And then COVID happened, and then there became a narrative behind it. COVID created the narrative of like, oh, this is Chinese anti-Asian hate shit, you know? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and on one end, it's almost like I feel validated. And I'm like, oh, every time something like this happens, I feel validated as an Asian American. I feel seen, and I matter, you know. And there's like a comforting element to know that we've been victimized or something like that. But on the other hand, I'm like, why does it have to happen? And then like, why do I feel so good about it?
Yeah, I don't.
Do you feel that way?
No, I don't. Well, actually, the other thing is that I don't see it in my personal real life. You know. That's not my reality. Yeah. Being here in Texas, at least, especially out in the suburbs, is where we live. I just, I don't see that, you know?
Yeah.
Like this stuff is mainly happening.
Let me rephrase.
Stuff is mainly happening in the Bay Area and New York, and I guess Philly now too. From what I see on videos, I've never seen this in Texas. I'm sure maybe it happens here and there.
That's just the stuff that gets caught on camera.
That's true. You know what? Like, there was this video a couple years ago. It was like a beauty salon, not a beauty salon, but like a beauty supply store. And I think it was owned by Asians, of course. And I think these black girls were trying to steal stuff from there, and it became this whole thing. But yeah, it didn't get news coverage like on a national scale. It was probably like a well-star hip hop thing, you know? Like it was just kind of on the internet, but they didn't, you know, it wasn't the right timing for it to be the narrative of like anti-Asian hate or something.
Yeah. I think the saddest thing about like what we're talking about right now is that it tends to happen between Asian and black people.
Yes.
And black people being the aggressors. And it's like...
And that's the other thing. The narrative of the anti-Asian or the Asian hate stuff, it's they try to call it white supremacy. And I just don't think that's the case. I mean, sure, there could be some instances like that, but that's not the case that I'm seeing for the majority of it, at least.
The videos don't show that. Yeah. The videos don't show it. But and it's also like with how prevalent the combination of the Asian and black combo is happening in these videos and in these incidences. It's just like it's creating a public persona, basically.
And that's
you know, for the Asian black dynamic, and it's not healthy.
And like the last video, you know, you titled it Asians are the new whites. That's what I see leading up to. You know, it's like maybe not to the same degree of racial tension, but it'll be its own category of racial tension. You know.
Yeah, like Asians need to be brought down because they're doing too well.
Yeah, and I know, and I
there's
heard
like there's a go ahead to do it because we're the oppressors, right? Asians
and I also heard about this story. I also heard about this story on another podcast about how these black women, you know, they wanted to be entrepreneurs, and I think they wanted to start their own like what are they called? Like hair extension? What do they call them?
Wigs?
Not wigs. You know, like hair extensions? Isn't there another word for it?
Yeah.
Weaves. There we go. That's the word I'm thinking of. Like weaves and hair extensions, that kind of stuff. I don't know anything about it, but I think they wanted to start like importing their own hair or something like that. But apparently you have to get like a certain license to do it. But all of these licenses are controlled by Asian people. Asian and maybe Indians.
That's funny.
So yeah, it's like it's kind of like that same, at least in this specific industry, it's kind of like that that narrative of like, you know, how a certain group of people like Jews or something control the media or banking or something.
Oh, I see. It's kind of like Asians are controlling the hair industry.
Yeah.
And we can't rise up because the Asians are holding us down.
Exactly. I've heard that argument before, and so I wouldn't be surprised if this, you know, Asian black tension actually becomes a bigger thing in the future. You know, that's just one small story that I've heard.
I mean,
you know?
it's hard not to see it. You know, it's hard not to see. I mean, if I was black, like it's hard not to see it like that too. You know, because it's like you're just trying to come up in this world. You're trying to get what's yours. You know, trying to earn it.
You're trying to do the right thing. You know, like, hey, I want to be a part of this business. Trying to do the right thing. I need to get this license or whatever. But you know,
you're trying not to get stepped on. You're not trying to be wronged or whatever. So you're trying to, you know, I get it. You know, we're all trying to survive. You know, but yeah, I don't know. It's a tough situation to be in, and you know, but whatever tensions are going on right now, if you keep playing it out, it's gonna cement in everyone's head like a certain narrative. It's gonna become the new standard, and the new standard then becomes new tensions and so forth, and it's not gonna benefit anyone.
Yeah, and then there's this other video that I sent you. I've been kind of seeing it all over the internet about the guy Kintex Ho.
Yeah, come on down to Intex Auto Shop and ask for Kintex. Kintex at Intex. I found that very funny. The guy's name is Kintex, and his auto shop is called Intex.
Yeah, that is weird.
I was like, oh man, this guy better get a jingle one day, because like it's just fucking hilarious. Yeah, okay. So more seriously, I feel like part of what's going on with the anti-Asian hate, I think some Asian people have kind of had it with the anti-Asian hate stuff, and you know, like they feel like they have to retaliate, they have to kind of flex, you know. And I think in the case of this Kintex Ho,
do you want to show the video first?
He's flexing. Okay, sure.
Just watch the video. More context, but for basically, it's this Kintex Ho. He owns his own body shop, and there's a Mexican street vendor. He's selling, I don't know what he's selling, but some sort of street food on his property. And based on the sound of Kintex's voice and his demeanor, it sounds like he's warned him before to get off his property and stop, posting up there. And let's watch the video.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh. Get out of here. Leave.
Why?
Get out of here. This is illegal.
Why? ¿Por qué me pegas?
¿Por qué?
I'm gonna yell.
Take it easy.
No.
Take it easy, sir.
No. This
Take
is wrong.
it easy.
This is illegal. You being illegal, you
Why?
reporting that? No problem.
What is illegal? He's illegal?
Yeah, why?
I think him trying to sell food on his property without a permit. I think that's what he's talking about.
Was he gonna throw? Was he gonna
To
throw?
light him on fire or something?
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's not handling this well.
Wrong. I'm gonna break your car.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah! Hey, sir, take it easy. Hey,
Did he break glass?
don't do that. Okay. This is barbecue area, my friend. Go. Take it easy, sir.
Mark, get this one.
Yeah. Why?
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
Ready for what? Ready to fight?
I think we're gonna have everybody
It's
doing video
Inter
here.
Auto Parts.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring it.
Okay.
Bring
This
it.
one no good, eh?
Oh, this.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a little
That
standoff
is
right there at the
crazy.
end. But I gotta say, as right as Kintex may be about that guy how that guy shouldn't be on his property, he probably should have called the police first if he really shouldn't be there and he wants him off his property. I don't think taking matters in your own hands like that is a smart idea.
Yeah, and I don't think he was right because I was reading that the police were basically saying like, yeah, you could set up here, it's fine. What's wrong with it? Like he actually been there. He's been there for 8 days or something like that, and he was completely like the police said they gave him the go ahead to
Oh, really?
sell,
Okay.
I mean, barbecue chicken and ribs. And I'm like, oh man, I want some, man.
Honestly,
But then
I wouldn't be mad at that.
that's-
It's like free advertising.
Yeah, but you're
kind of,
bringing
yeah.
people. Yeah, you're bringing people to stop at the side of the road where my business is at. Meaning, you're giving my business more eyeballs and foot traffic. Like, god damn it, that's free publicity. You should thank the man. You should kiss the ground he walks on. You should buy more chicken from him. You'd be like, yes, please stay. Thank you. We can work in tandem.
Yeah,
here, you know?
exactly.
Like and basically, if someone stops to get chicken, and you're like, hey, I know the Kintex guy over here is real cool, man.
Or maybe leave a
you can
few
come bring your car.
leave a few business cards or flyers, at his stand.
Yeah. And then vice versa, Kintex, man. Like, like you got some people waiting for the cars to get worked on. But like, hey, while you're waiting, man, my homie out there, Hector. I actually made up that name. I don't know if his name is Hector, but whatever. He sells really good barbecue.
Yeah, if you go into a body shop to pick up your car and you have to wait or whatever, would you rather go somewhere that had food or didn't have food?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't know what his deal was. Maybe there's more to the story that we don't know. But he definitely got arrested.
You ready? You ready?
He definitely got arrested.
You ready?
He definitely got arrested. So that's good.
Oh
I don't know.
God.
Hopefully.
You know what's so cool?
No,
Yeah,
I
go
didn't really
ahead.
have anything to say.
Oh yeah, you know what's? I thought it was really cool how what's that guy's name? The guy that got hit.
What do you mean?
Is it Hector?
Well, you're
I don't
making
know.
up the name Hector.
I'm making up the name.
Let's go with
I
Hector.
wanted to find out his name.
I don't know his name.
I want because let me look it up real quick. I want to. Because that guy is cool, man. Okay, his last name is Sanchez. They just keep mentioning
he didn't.
Sanchez.
He definitely didn't. He didn't snap on Kintex, so that's good. It could have.
He
Carlos.
handled it
Carlos
really,
Sanchez.
really well. Carlos. Okay, Carlos. You handled it really well. I think most people would have took the bait of like, yeah, you ready to go? Oh, fuck yeah, I'm ready to go. Fuck you, man. Fucking destroying my shit, Like, he handled it so well. He was just kind of like, hey, man, that's not cool. Por qué? Why? Like, he was just like, he was so calm. I don't think I would have been that calm. If some dude with a baseball bat came up to me and started just wiggling their baseball bat in my face and into my shit and started like rummaging through stuff and like, just pat, pat. Like he didn't even hit it that hard, but that's just annoying.
He did hit Carlos a couple times.
Yeah, and I'm assuming in the hand because he hit the phone. He was trying. I think he was trying to hit the phone out of his hand. Yeah, and so I'm like, I'm assuming his hand got whacked by a wooden baseball bat. That fucking hurts. Yeah, but he took it so well.
I was just glancing at this article, and he was speaking to a translator, so he probably also didn't know enough English to really try to like have a real confrontation with Kintex too.
True.
So he's just like a honest, hardworking guy, just trying to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, but even then, he didn't lose his shit. I mean, it doesn't. You don't need to know a language to lose your shit.
True, but I've been a foreigner. I've been a tourist. And I got my fair share of my well,
shit.
Maybe you just have an anger issue.
Calmest dude. Maybe I do. I'm not always the calmest dude, and I'm like, oh fuck the language barrier, fuck you, And anger doesn't know language, and anger doesn't know anything other than it's angry. And this guy just kept his cool. I commend him for that.
Yeah, now he's got everybody's praise. So
amazing. But yeah, so so back to what I was trying to say. I feel like maybe there's there's an air of Asians they finally had it enough of us being victims, and they're like, I am gonna flex my shit, and
and also another reason why I do say that Asians might be the next white people or treated like white people is because Asians actually really do like Law and Order,
Oh yeah, they just look at how they're portrayed in movies with like, and like, everything's just so organized, and they're like usually
but even in Asian countries, they respect the law. There's definitely not as many criminals over there. And so, maybe in this context of Kintex Ho, he was thinking that this illegal street vendor shouldn't be here. Why isn't the police doing anything about it? And, maybe, I don't know, maybe wherever they are, the police are just super lenient, and he's just like, man, fuck this, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. And
trying to be a vigilante. He watched too many Batman movies.
Yeah. So yeah, there's like the part of like tired of being a victim and also wanting law and order, and maybe a lot of Asian people in certain places just had enough of it. Because all of this stuff is happening in California, like the past incidents that the shootings that we saw. And actually there's this other story about I think his name is Jaime Tran.
Or it could maybe he's Jamie.
That's what I keep seeing his name as Jaime. So
because you know a lot of Latinos, I think.
No, but literally every article I've seen about him, his name is Jaime, not Jamie.
They actually say Jaime?
Well, it's Jaime. That's not Jamie, is it?
Yeah, if they weren't Hispanic, I would assume it's Jamie.
But that's a Hispanic way of spelling Jamie, because Jamie is Jamie, not Jaime, right?
True. I don't know.
Yeah, so there's this other story of Jaime or Jamie Tran. He is accused of shooting 2 Orthodox Jewish men in LA. And apparently he's also had an anti-Semitic history based on interviews with his former classmates.
Yeah. He must be a Kanye fan.
Well, but I would say this guy is probably just a crazy loon. Like I wouldn't categorize him with victimized.
You're a loon.
Like with the other victimized Asian like attacks that we've seen, or that sort. This guy was just crazy. Apparently he threatened a former classmate before, told them that he wanted to kill them, and so I don't know, a few days ago or something, he shot 2 Orthodox Jewish guys and tried to get away. He got caught up. Later
Palm
on.
Springs.
Also happened, like I said, also happened in California. So I don't know what's going on over there. But yeah, he just seemed like a crazy guy because he was also living out of his car too.
Yeah,
so he didn't seem like he had his shit together.
He allegedly texted his classmates, quote, "Someone is going to kill you, Jew. I want you dead, Jew." This guy is crazy, man. This guy's crazy.
To just threaten somebody like that, you know?
Like,
So,
as mad as I
yeah.
get, you know, I don't think I would threaten anyone by wanting
Kill
them
them.
dead.
Especially
Yeah.
through text message where the evidence just sits there forever.
Yeah, because and it's not like if you blurted it out, that's also slightly different than when you text. Because when you're blurting it, it's so effortless sometimes to just say
it's
words, right?
It's in the moment sometimes. Sometimes you just say things you don't mean, but when you're like texting it, you have time to look at yourself, you know,
this is a good idea to text this. Even when you're mad, you still kind of have like a
second thought. You're like,
delete,
should I
delete,
send
delete,
this?
delete. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. This
And
guy's
so
crazy.
that guy's just crazy. He is facing a possible life sentence for these hate crimes.
Yes, keep him away. Lock him up. I don't want him driving around near me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man.
I know. Just
Crazy.
imagine another race person saying that to a Chinese person. You're just like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah,
Like, I might be
lock
next.
that guy up too.
Yeah.
I don't care what race or creed he is. Just lock those guys up, man. The guys that drive around going like, "I want you dead. I want you dead." I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
so,
no one wins that game. Whatever game they're playing, no one wins that game. And I don't want to play games where there's no winners. I want to keep playing my games of having winners. You know, sometimes we lose, sometimes we win, but someone wins, and that's the better game to play.
Yep.
Do you think there is? I'm gonna go into a conspiracy now. Do you think?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Do you think that there is someone or something, an organization, a group of people, or something in the air, mind control, like sonic waves that are entering the minds of Asian
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra shit, yeah, entering the minds of Asian men who are like slightly already on the edge of just they just need that extra push. Okay, so this Jaime Tran guy who shot at some Jewish people. You have the Half Moon Bay shooter who just had it with his supervisor and his ex-employees or whatever, and just needed an extra push to go bang bang. And then the Monterey Park shooter who just needed that extra push to say, "I wasn't invited to the fucking dance," and bang bang. All right. At least I don't know
had
what
my
the
thoughts
reasons,
like that too.
I don't know what the reasons why he shot up the dancing halls, but like that's the best I can come up with. I don't. They still don't know. They still don't know why he did it.
He got killed, right?
He killed himself.
Oh, he killed himself. Okay.
Yeah.
How about the Half Moon?
He
Half
turned himself
Moon Bay? Okay.
And then
And I guess he had a more like specific motive.
yeah, he just had it against.
Yeah, he was a disgruntled.
disgruntled worker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had a forklift accident, and he was told to pay up for the accident, but he didn't think it was his fault or whatever, so he was trying to fight it and
Oh,
again,
okay.
yeah. So work incident shit. But yeah, I don't know. Like, first of all,
It is kind of weird that this stuff is happening.
we don't see a whole lot of
all
Asian,
around the same time.
Yeah, we don't see a whole lot of Asian faces in the news to begin with, I guess, especially in these types of headlines. And so for all of them to kind of be clustered together, back to back, is what's going on? What's going on in the water? What's going on in the air?
What I think, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it does kind of seem like a stretch. It's like all these very like different scenarios, and yeah, maybe the government's tracking, who might be on the edge, but the other thing is that it seems like the news is trying to get us prepared to go to war with China at some point eventually, so maybe it's like, they're just trying to prime us up to make Asians or to villainize Asians,
That could be it.
Yeah, that would be my conspiracy take to it. I can't think of anything else, but it's just to kind of like, I don't want to say they're dehumanizing Asians, but it's to, give us some sort of what's the word I'm thinking of?
Give a hate ammo, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
right?
There you go. That's a perfect way to describe it. Yeah, sort of like this hate ammo, like a some sort of resentment,
hate fuel.
Towards,
there you go. Fuel for hate. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Some sort of resentment towards Asians in certain situations, to where whenever hopefully not, but if there is a conflict that does happen with China, then it's like, oh yeah, you remember when they did this, or that kind of
it's not going to be
fuel.
like we talked about this briefly. I think in the last episode we talked about how like if we ever go to war with China, like would there be like internment camps and stuff, like kind of like how they did in World War II with the Japanese peoples?
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. Honest, but I did say, I was like, it won't be an actual internment camp where we get sent to places to relocate us or whatever, but it's gonna be something. And if your conspiracy little theory is makes any sense, I feel like that would be the play. It wouldn't be mandated by law, but
it's to get people to turn on us.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's to get some people to look at us in a different light without them forcing it upon us.
Exactly. It's like they can't outright say it. So what's the second best propaganda? They'll just kind of subtly plant and paint these types of narratives for us to kind of be like, well, you make the decision. I'll let it be in your hands, But here's the facts: Asian shooters, Asians are terrorizing us, Asian this, Asian that, and then they'd be like, God damn, why did there gotta be another Asian guy getting beat up by black people? That's against the narrative.
Exactly. They don't report those.
Yeah.
Oh, but
man. I don't know. I think it's just too
coincidental.
Yeah.
It's only been what? So we started this podcast literally a month ago.
Yeah. At the beginning of this shit.
January 23rd or something, right?
We filmed the first episode the day the Monterey Park shooting happened.
Well, yeah, it was the day of Chinese New Year's.
Yeah.
Lunar New Year's. I'm still call it Chinese New Year's.
I like Chinese New Year's.
Between then till now, there's been a good amount of Asian related crimes where the perpetrator was an Asian.
Yeah.
It's funny because it was either like a Chinese guy or like a Vietnamese guy too.
Yeah, that's true. They're like, oh, those are two Asian types that are most on edge. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's really weird. And then like what's even weirder, and I think it's like really annoying to me, is when I see headlines saying like, oh yeah, Asian communities are banding together after the tragedy of the Monterey Park shooting. This anti-Asian hate has to stop. I'm like, what anti-Asian hate? And it's like, fine, like Asians, I guess, can hate other Asians, but like to say that it's anti-Asian hate, I'm like, it doesn't,
because that's a racially charged term.
Yeah, and it's not factual. I think that's the biggest problem. It's not factual because they never proved what the motive was for the Monterey Park shooter. At least I couldn't find it. I actually like a month out, like 3 weeks after it happened, I scoured the internet. I was like, okay, I got to make some sense out of this guy. Did
they really report it as the Asian hate thing?
Yeah, look it up. Monterey Park shooter.
Okay.
Asian hate.
Look it up on my phone, because I feel like looking at stuff on my computer is going to screw up my quality.
Yeah. So we've been experimenting with what is this called? Riverside. Not too happy with Riverside. It's making your...
It could... I don't know if it's my internet. I have no idea. We're still trying to figure out. But we've been having some technical difficulties, so we apologize if my side of the recording suck. We're using the same camera and stuff, so like our equipment is good.
You're a communist. But, he's a communist, and of course you're gonna have a potato for a camera over there. You know what I mean? It's just communist, man.
I don't have that capitalist technology. I have that state issued camera. Let's see. Asian hates crime. So it's an op-ed. This is an opinion piece at Los Angeles Times. The headline is, "Why the Monterey Park shooting feels like an attack on Asian America."
Why does that even need to be mentioned? What
Monterey
feels like
Park
it?
tragedy
You're
brings
the
back
fucking
trauma.
news, man.
Let's see. Monterey Park tragedy brings back trauma, fears of anti-Asian violence. Okay, I see what you're saying. The specter of anti-Asian violence in the Monterey Park shooting. Here's another one that I'm not going to read it right now, but it's from The Atlantic, and their headline is named "The Cognitive Dissonance of the Monterey Park Shooting." What does that sounds a little. So it's
those two words I don't even understand.
Cognitive dissonance is
stupid.
like the idea of I took psychology 101 in community
you're
college.
so smart.
But I do remember learning about it, and it's like the idea of like if something happens that
Sorry, I'm pouring more nuts over my nuts. I ran out of nuts, and I like this jar, so I'm pouring a refill back. Hold on.
Cognitive dissonance. I will look up the actual definition because I don't want to fuck this up. But basically, it's like if something happens that is foreign to you or like you're not used to or something, there's like 3 ways to deal with it. One way is to accept the fact of that new thing happening, or 2, you
deny it.
You deny it, and then 3,
really?
There's a
shit.
Yeah. There's like different ways to like cope with how some event happening that like kind of confuses your mind. Like you don't know how to think about it, so cognitive dissonance comes up, and there's like 3 different methods of how you would try to.
These are methods to strive for.
That.
Are these methods that
there we go.
strive
the
for,
definition is the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. So you can decide to change your attitude about something, or 2, you could just keep the same attitude and try to, justify your thinking of not changing your thinking. And then 3, I don't know. There's like 3 different things to it. If you're a psychology major, you're probably gonna think I'm really stupid. But you know what? Probably not the right time and place.
I think
to look
majority
this
of people aren't psychology majors, and I think
it's just like
so smart.
Cognitive dissonance is just like how you deal with new information coming to you that's inconsistent to what you previously thought. So this article of saying how this Monterey Park shooting brings up cognitive dissonance might be kind of challenging the whole anti-Asian violence rhetoric. Maybe. I don't know. I have to read this article, but at least they're not being as stupid as these other articles where they're just like, oh, this is anti-Asian violence, So this article, the author is actually kind of like, wait a minute, like we need to like think about this maybe.
Yeah, well,
where are you trying to get to?
Hate because you never found the motive.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying the point that I disagree with whoever's saying that this is anti-Asian hate, Monterey Park shooter. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think that's wrong, just because it's wrong to assume it because we don't know what the actual motive was.
Mm-hmm.
One of the motives was because he wasn't invited to the dance. Like literally, I saw that as one of the reports, but we don't know.
Really?
He never left a note. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know why he did it.
Wait, that was someone's guess? Was that he wasn't invited to the dance? Assumption? Someone assumed that? This guy was like 70 years old. This guy was 70 years old.
Yeah, he shot up a dance hall. Well, the dance hall was full of older people too. Everyone he killed was like 50 and above.
Okay.
And so it was like a dance for older people. Yeah.
Oh,
and he
okay.
was like, I'm old. I didn't get an invitation. That's what they thought. But he lives in Hemet, California. Yeah.
So he doesn't even live in
Hemet,
Monterey
California.
Park. I don't even know where that is.
He drove like an hour to get to Monterey Park to shoot at Monterey Park. Mm-hmm.
See, now
so
this
I don't know.
this kind of information you're telling me that's the kind of information you're telling me that makes me feel like it's some sort of conspiracy thing. It's like, why would you drive an hour away to a place that you're upset about to not getting invited to shoot up. I don't know.
I think this guy was wacko.
Yes,
He just needed
wacko.
a little nudge, like I was saying. He just needed a little nudge, and he just went off the deep end. He had to go. He just did some shit, you know.
Yeah.
Similar to, I feel like most everything that's happening. But okay, this is
And
my
I wish
thoughts
they
on-
would. I
on
wish they
most-
would also
most
talk
shooters, though.
about. I wish they would also talk about where he got the gun from too. You know, like did he already have it? Was it a relatives?
Yeah,
Did he
they
go out
also
to buy
reported.
it?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but they also reported that he also produces his own silencers or something like that. He like in his home, they found that he was making, like, manufacturing, like he was actually creating, like he had,
Yeah,
I
you
think
can do that.
silencers is what because his gun had a silencer on it. It's quiet, and I don't know. I don't know. For people to dissonance, consonance, dissonance,
Cognitive dissonance.
cognitive dissonance. I like dignitive consonants. If you're trying to make sense of it, I think the dumbest way to make sense of it is to think that it's an anti-Asian hate move, because
Yeah.
that is not anti-Asian hate.
100%.
That is just hate.
That's just
towards
hate.
life.
It's just hate.
Yeah, that's just hate. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you can't just because it happens to Asian people, you can't lump it into Asian hate. You know, and that's lazy. That's very lazy thinking. And then
it's
you're just
like,
creating more. You're just creating more hate within yourself. To
Well,
think
you know,
that
like-
people are coming after you. That's like victimhood. You know.
With like a lot of crime where black people are victims, like the majority of it is black on black violence, but they would never call it anti-black violence or something like that. Like
It
this
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, this term only applies to like the anti-Asian narrative for some reason.
Yeah, that's true. If it's black on black crime, then it's
First of all, it's never talked about.
True. But when it is
But
talked
it's
about,
just
it's
crime.
called gang violence. It's called gang
Yeah,
violence.
gang
Yeah,
violence.
It's called
Yeah,
gang
there
violence.
you go. It is called gang
Yeah.
violence.
But when it's another race on black crime, then it's racism against black. It's a hate crime, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why isn't that logic applied here for the Monterey Park shooting? They just lumped. They just didn't. They can't understand that an Asian person could hurt another Asian person. Is that what it is?
Beats me.
What are you drinking?
No clue. I'm drinking Truly.
We've
What?
been recording for like an hour. We've been
Yeah, I've
recording
been
for an
sipping on
hour. I'm
Truly.
like, what are you drinking? Oh, nice. Okay. Maybe I should stop drinking my tea and drink a little bit of alky.
You never drink alcohol though, right?
Yeah, I'm allergic. I think my hand looks better this week, right?
Yeah.
to last week?
Well, last week you were saying it was because you were drinking that milk.
Yeah, I drank some milk, and I'm allergic to milk.
But you're allergic to alcohol too? Does it also make your eczema?
It's inflammatory. I think I'm allergic to sugar too, because sugar is inflammatory too. So I think anything that's inflammatory.
That's
I
like
just
almost
get-
everything that tastes good.
Yeah, I have to eat like a rabbit if I really want to.
Yeah, so you can't even like fried foods. Terrible for you.
I think that's the worst. Yeah, like in Chinese, eat hay, or Cantonese, eat
Yeah,
hay.
yeah.
Anything that's eat hay, I can't fuck with it.
Wow.
Yeah, so-
that sucks. I mean, it's good that it gives you a reason to stay away from it because it's hard to stay away from it. But that sucks
Yeah.
that you just can't even handle it like that.
So true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
How many people get eczema? Like what's the percentage of the population that battle or deal with eczema?
I don't know.
You know, you don't like reach out to like an eczema
I should know this.
advocacy.
I should know
well,
this
I guess
'cause
not
I-
advocacy, but like like a group of
Awareness.
eczema. Yeah.
And there's a little bit of lag right now. Man, your
Oh,
internet
that
sucks,
sucks.
man.
My internet's
Yeah,
usually really good. I don't know if it's just this platform that messes up my internet. I don't know. I'm gonna switch to AT&T.
You might need to go back to Zencaster. So we started off using Zencaster. Didn't have any problems with the actual formatting of its of the recordings. I mean, but we wanted to try out video playback, and so we hopped over to Riverside because Riverside offers screen sharing and stuff like that, where Zencastr doesn't. So if you're looking to do a podcast, there you go. That's the homework we did, and we're like, try Zencastr.
I read something.
Try Riverside.
I read something where if you are doing Zencastr and you want to do share screen, they said to just open up like a separate Zoom or Skype call for.
Let's just do that.
The screen sharing.
Yeah, let's just do that because I really don't like Riverside.
Yeah.
It's making your like I want to talk to you as if you're in front of me, but now I'm staring at pixelated. Like you look like
I'm
a
pixelated.
Puzzle. Yeah, you look like a Van Gogh painting. Like right now, you're pixelated, and we keep having this lag problem. So like I feel like if it really is just Riverside, then I'd rather hop back onto
Zencastr.
Zencastr, yeah.
That's fine too, because I think Zencastr we were using like their free membership thing.
Oh yeah, free. I like free. Anyways.
But if anyone has got this far to this podcast and knows of a better alternative, please let us know.
Yes.
Out of like the 100 views we get.
Yeah. We're growing though. We have 150 subscribers now on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we're getting some. Like I didn't the last video when I uploaded it, I didn't directly promote it on my Instagram, which initially was where kind of all the views are coming from. It's coming from my Instagram, and I didn't promote it. And just on its own, based on our following, and then maybe the interest in the title, which the title was "Asians Are the New White People." You have
we need to have we need to have really controversial, clickbaity titles, basically.
Yeah, the first one was reacting to Monterey Park shooter, so that got 1,000 views. Yeah, we didn't know shit about the Monterey Park shooting either in that episode because it literally was happening that morning. Like they were figuring things out. So
yeah, that was crazy.
I said so many wrong things actually.
But we tried to disclaim that more information was coming out.
We're like, it's happening right now. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So that was the reaction.
I think is happening.
That was the reaction.
But yeah, so 4 weeks later, we still don't know what really happened with Monterey Park, and yeah,
and they kind of stopped talking about it. I think. I mean, it's definitely kind of. I don't know. You have to search for it to find things about it. Basically, they're not putting it in your face anymore. Asian
people are getting beat up. We should feel sorry for them. But then at the same time, they're also becoming the aggressors in some instances, and we should fear them.
So
yin and yang, man.
It kind of goes back to the whole like yellow peril thing. It's like with the yellow peril campaign back then, it was like, we should fear Asians and they're dangerous to our Western society. Because later on we kind of became this archetype of some nerdy mathematician character, and we get bullied around and stuff at the same time. So reminds me of that.
So they
for what
succeeded.
It's worth.
They tore us down. They went from fearing us to oppressing us,
and then now they fear us again.
Now they fear us again.
Especially with China.
I don't know if I want either one though. I don't want people to fear us. I don't.
Yeah,
I want to be liked,
respected.
Man.
I want to be liked and respected. That's all we want.
I live by the motto of Jackie Chan. I want no trouble. That's it. I want no trouble.
That's exactly how you can sum up Asian people in this climate of the world.
Yeah, that video on the subway in Philly.
Yeah,
I want no trouble. That's literally what they were doing. I want no trouble.
Exactly.
At least what the video was giving us. Maybe they're like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, before the videos rolled, and then the cameras were rolling. They're like, oh shit, act your Asian part. Oh, I want no trouble. I'm sorry.
Maybe, but
imagine.
Yeah. Anyways, let's wrap this up before we have more technical difficulties. And we'll just, I might try to get a new computer. I don't know. My computer's kind of old,
you're
but
communist on your potato camera and your potato laptop.
My socialist network.
Yes, your socialist. Your socialist internet.
All right. Well, anyways, we wanted to do a video, reaction video of the Vice debate, and
yeah, we should do that.
We don't
next.
know if that'll happen. We'll try to do that.
Hey, if you
I don't know how we're gonna do that.
If you come over,
go ahead.
We could do it. There's a lag. Okay. But we could do it when you come over to LA to visit.
Let's do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Then we can actually
that way we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about. Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't have to worry about your communist internet lag, and we just have a real good interaction.
As long as on the technicality side, you know how to set all that up and do all that, then we'll be good.
Yeah, I ran a podcast before this podcast.
True.
Actually, running my wife's podcast made me like running podcasts. I was like, oh, this is actually really fun. And so when they ended their podcast, I was like, I need more podcasts to run. So created my own podcast.
Perfect. Okay.
But yeah.
Well, anyways, let's end this before my communist internet cuts out again.
Yes. Prepare for your flight from Russia.
Big lag. All right. Well, you should end it with your little tagline, and we'll hop off.
Yeah. All right. That's it for us this week, folks. And make sure to stay oriented. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, no, I like our actual song that plays at the bumper.
Yeah,
and cue the music.